Of all of the potted supermarket herbs, I think that coriander, aka cilantro, is the most popular. And I think that that is for a few reasons. First of all, if you're shopping and you need some fresh herbs for not only today, but for meals later on in the week, this is much more attractive because it's in a pot. Presumably, it's going to live a bit longer and stay fresher. Now, the other reason is it's cheap. This cost me about £1, and that is a lot cheaper than buying plants in a garden center. And so if you are a gardener, you're also tempted to thinking, well, if I buy this, maybe I can take it home and grow it on. Now, the reality is that most of these potted supermarket herbs die, and a lot of people don't know why. And in a previous video, I've gone over basil, and you can check that out after this video. And today I'm going to focus on coriander and how we can keep it going, and also a better way to keep yourself in fresh coriander leaves all summer long. You have your potted herb, you've taken it home, it's looking really perky. There might even be a bit of information about the farmer on the front. So this says that it was grown in Sussex, so West Sussex, and it says the name of the farmer even. And I think that that might be a little bit uncommon. I'm not so sure about other regions because there's often just the supermarket information and you often don't even know the variety name. And it doesn't say the variety name on here, but most likely it is Cruiser, which is the most popular type of coriander for commercial purposes, for supermarkets. Now, these are grown in a very controlled environment. The humidity, the light, moisture levels, it's all controlled. And also this bag helps to keep the coriander from flopping. You can see that it's pretty floppy. It's not holding itself up well. It's not used to being out of that bag. So we've got a few problems there already. Now, another thing is that if you look really closely at the plant, you'll see that there are loads and loads of individual plants inside this pot. Now, if you were growing this on its own, one plant probably needs a good 4 inches in all directions to really flourish and grow and be healthy. So all of these little plants are crammed in this pot and they're not going to do very well in the long term. And in fact, they will not only use a lot of moisture quickly, lots of plants competing, but because there's so many in here, they'll be stressed easily, and so they'll want to bolt. Coriander, cilantro, for those of you in North America, it bolts pretty quickly anyway. And if you start the seeds now in spring, your plants have a good few months in some cases to live. And the same goes for if you sow the seeds in late summer, early autumn as well. But during the summer, you sow the seeds for these guys, they pop up and they can be up, flowering and producing seed in a month. And they're notorious for doing that. And so if we're going to keep this supermarket coriander alive, we have to think about that. We need to ensure that it has access to more moisture, more room for its roots to grow. It also has a lot of foliage up there. And not only is it flopping around, but it will be losing moisture as well. And that is a bit of a challenge if you are trying to pot this on to grow it on for a little bit longer. Now, the first step then is to reduce that foliage mass. So this is the harvesting part. And whenever you harvest your coriander, you want to take about 1/3 off the top and just use some ordinary scissors here. And this will not only give you a good amount of coriander to use today or within the next couple of days, but it also reduces the amount of mass that this plant has to hold up. You can see already it's doing better. It's holding itself much better. Now, I'm not taking it down all the way to the ground, because if you take it all the way down to the potting soil level, then it doesn't have any leaves. It'll really, really struggle. So that is enough. Now, I'm going to set the coriander aside, use that later on. The next step is taking it out of the pot and having a good look at the roots. And you can see it's pretty pot bound. All of those roots are just competing. All of those individual plants, is probably about a dozen plants in this pot, when in reality, there should only be about one plant in a pot that size. And that is the illusion of abundance and growth and lushness that the supermarkets are trying to sell you with this. And they're also trying to portray this as one single plant, when in fact it's lots of little plants that are all struggling and they're not doing too well. Again, they were grown in a very controlled environment. Unlike with basil, you don't really want to do too much with the root ball here. You don't want to disturb it too much. It'll stress the plants out a bit more, I think. And so what we're going to do is just repot this on into a larger pot with a bit more potting mix. And I've got some here. It's already pre-moistened. This is peat-free potting mix, or compost as Brits like to call it. It is soilless and it is filled with goodness. And I'm just going to put a little bit into this pot first. And you want to plant this to the exact level that it was growing before. So you don't want to cover up the tops of those little plants. And then I'm going to hold all of these stems and then just backfill around the sides here. And coriander, when you plant it up like this, it will expand into this potting mix. It will really enjoy having a little bit more space on the sides. And you can harvest more leaves every week. So take the top third of whatever is growing there, let the rest of it grow. Make sure that this is really well watered. It's not too hot. It tends to bolt when it's too hot, so in really hot direct sunlight. And if you have a liquid organic vegetable feed, give it a little bit, dilute a little bit and feed it once a week. And you can keep this pot of coriander going for, I don't know, up to a month, I would say. But inevitably, it will start growing really tall. So it starts to bolt. And then once you see those stalks coming up really high, the thicker stalks with the flower buds at the top, that's when you compost your plant and you start fresh, because as soon as it starts bolting, it loses flavor. But this will keep your plant going for a little bit longer. And when I say plant, I mean plants. There are lots and lots of little coriander plants in here. After it's all potted up, I'm going to give it a good water as well. Even though that potting mix was moist, it will really appreciate a little bit more moisture just to settle it in and to keep it hydrated. I'm just going to set this plant over here, and I'll either keep it in the house in a bright but not hot place, or I might keep it out here in the polycrop. It's getting a lot warmer now, and I plan on using this trestle table to set up a little station in here, a temporary one for young plants. We are going to be building the beds next week, and so there'll be a little bit less space for that. But in the interim, they'll be able to enjoy a nice warm atmosphere, and it will continue to grow. This will live for about a month, I've already said. And so if you want to keep yourself in coriander leaves all summer long, this way, you will need to get a new plant every 3 to 4 weeks, I would say. And potentially, it might not even last that long. The way to keep yourself in coriander all summer long reliably is to grow it from seed. And you can grow the seeds in containers, you can grow them outdoors, you can grow them in little pots in your windowsill as well. And you need to choose the right type of coriander, cilantro, for the time of the year as well. So most coriander will grow really well in the spring and autumn when it's a little bit cooler, The heat isn't pushing those young plants to want to bolt. But in the summertime, you do need to consider the bolting that happens, because you can sow seed and it can go straight into flower almost immediately. And there are a couple of good varieties to have in the summer. Calypso is one, slow bolt is another, and I think that's more common in the southern hemisphere, so Australia, but Calypso is really common here. And those ones will give you a little bit more time, so a little bit more leaves before the plant decides it's time to give up the ghost and produce flowers and seeds and then die, because that's what it does. It produces seeds and then the plant naturally dies. I'm sewing this recycled plastic fabric container up with some coriander seeds. This is a root pouch. I got it, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago at a trade show from the manufacturers. It's a really good recycled option. And this is great because if the coriander is getting a bit too much sun or it's not in the right place, you can pick it up easily and move it. And I'm filling it with the exact same kind of stuff, peat-free potting mix. This is a different brand, and so there's different stuff in there, and they've added some extra bit of grit in there as well. It doesn't really matter. Just use your preferred potting mix. I think that will do. You'll remember how deep down the roots can grow when we took the supermarket plant out of its pot. But that, I would say, a good 4 inches is going to be enough. Now, unlike this poor supermarket plant, we're going to be a little bit less heavy-handed with the seed. And I'm using the self-saved seed. And I would say every inch or so, put a seed. Not all of them will germinate. Most of them will. You'll be surprised. And if they're a little bit too close together, you can thin them out for early greens, or you could leave them and see how it does. It's up to you. But give them a little bit more space. Be a bit kinder with your self-grown plants. I think that that's probably enough seeds. It doesn't take much. It's amazing how one little seed can grow into a massive plant. Now, I've just sprinkled them on the top. I'm going to put a little bit more of the potting mix on the top. Not much, maybe a 1/4 inch. Just sprinkle it on. And then I'm going to firm it in after this, just using my hands. You can wear gloves if you want as well. And then give it a good watering. I also soaked this container beforehand, so it's not going to take any moisture out of that potting mix. I can expect for these seeds to germinate in about 1 to 3 weeks. And then the time to harvest can vary, because in the summer they grow much quicker, and also late spring as well. Early on in the year, the first sowings will take a bit longer. So these I will probably start harvesting at the end of May, and you'll know when to harvest them by the height and the lushness of the leaves. If they're a good 4 inches tall, then you can take 1/3 of the plant off with leaving leaves underneath for it to continue growing. And you can get several harvests off your plant before you need to take them out and then start with new seed. And if you have a few containers like this, then you can continuously grow coriander by swapping the different containers. Sewing it up, harvesting, removing the plants, potting it up again. If you have any questions whatsoever about growing coriander, cilantro from supermarket plants or from seed, leave me a comment down below. And I have another video that I think you'll be interested in. It's an oldie, but that shows you just how long I've been doing this, and that is starting my basil off from supermarket plants. I no longer sow seeds, and I haven't for years for this. And one of these pots is enough to keep me in basil all summer long. You only need one, and then they'll continue to grow and grow and grow. And it's my intention to fill this entire space with tomatoes, indeterminate ones, so they'll be growing up, and at the feet will be these gorgeous leafy herbs. And more on that this summer, but also in next week's video, we're gonna do a little bit more work in the garden, including starting the new beds that are going here in the polycrop. I'll see you then.